You've been there, done that, Malcolm, winning a Brownlow medal and then playing on Grand Final day 4 days later.
Yeah,
what was going through Gary Ablett's mind?
Yeah, hopefully, look, Jimmy Bartell, his teammates.
Got a smattering of Premiership players, or Grand Final players, and Schneider and Dempster and King, and Gardner's been there on Grand Final day. 7 recycled players. Look, it's an amazing eclectic mix of footballers in one team.
And I think you have to look at Ross Lyon and pay enormous respect to the job that he's done.
So the stage has been perfectly set across 6 months. St Kilda and Geelong to fight it out. The grand final made in heaven begins under grey and forbidding skies. But for the moment, there's no rain. Brett Roseberry's moment, and it's a beauty. And Gardner and Ottens go after it. And so does Lenny Hayes for the first feel of the footy. And Brett Roseberry will get a chance to bounce it again under slightly less pressure.
Umpires throwing the ball up, that's a good idea in these conditions.
Chapman had a great game against St Kilda in round 14.
The umpire in the defensive third of the ground picked this one out. It was a holding against Cameron Ling, had hold for the jumper of Dal Santo.
39 disposals that day to Chapman as Dal Santo goes short and finds Fisher. To Baker. Now what's on offer? No one on the mark, so he runs about 30 metres and then just drills it long to a big contested situation. And the only man in the end that went up was Goddard.
And his opponent on that occasion was Gary Ablett. And you can see the frustration on the Brownlow medalist. Just didn't go with him in the air. Had to play it better defensively. You get a good look at it here now. So Goddard's his man, decides not to fly, and Goddard makes him pay.
And Gary Ablett not happy, but expecting Mackie to come through and get a fist on it. Mackie decided not to go.
Converting at 61% this year, 11th in the AFL in disposals. Brendan Goddard kicks the goal for St Kilda. An uncontested mark inside 50. You don't see that too often in the modern game, Luke.
No, and it won't make Gary Ablett happy. It won't make Bomber Thompson happy.
Be worried about that?
I think Harry Taylor would love to see him up away from goal as far as possible.
Bartell got a hand high on Dal Santo, so it's St Kilda's ball.
The old don't argue, Tim. And Bartell's got the responsibility. Have a look at it there. The hand in the face. And it's the correct call.
The distance just too much for Nick Dal Santo. Oh, and he got the weight on the kick perfectly. Selwood saying he touched it. The umpire not agreeing.
Are you wondering whether Lenny Hayes can go the distance?
I am thinking it's on his distance just about with the wind as well. But I'm also admiring that kick, Wolsey. I mean, that is why we rate Dal Santo so highly.
Not a big goal kicker, only 4 for the year. A key one in the preliminary final, and now he's got one in the big one. He just never lets his team down.
This kick is just so well placed. Look at that. It was a millimetre over the fingernail of Joel Selwood. Just the vision for a start to be able to see that Hayes is there, and then the ability to kick it that well with a rain-soaked footy, rain steaming down.
Hawkins slides into the footy. Now he's wrapped up. Could be free kicks and Kilda's way here. Holding the ball, and it's a free kick to St Kilda.
First quarter all year has been Geelong's best quarter, and I think Ross Lyon would be reasonably happy at the moment.
Luke Ball's had a good term. He receives from Goddard. A couple of St Kilda's high draft picks from early in the decade. A 1 and a 2. Ball goes for Revolt again. 3 against him. That leaves some Saints down. One of them, Farron Ray, off the left. A very clever kick for Schneider, who wants 50, but I think his football is better than his acting.
Well, Schneider and Mill, I mentioned minutes ago, they have to do their bit today if the Saints are going to get over the line. You can see there the emphasis on Revolt. He took 3 opponents. He drew 3 opponents, and it meant that the Saints had the numbers down. Farron Ray's hook kick to the top of the goal square was a beauty. This fella's got to finish off.
He'll want this after a shocking miss in the early minutes to give the Saints the lead for the first time. And he's done just that. St Kilda in front by 2 points.
Very clever kick it was from Farron Ray. Didn't blaze away. It was smart. He actually had a good look. And I think he picked Snyder out. Got it to the right spot. Scarlett trying to come third man in. But Snyder was in the box seat. And we know that he shanked the first one. Second one, no mistake for Adam Snyder.
Yep.
Bangs it long. Hawkins! A specky from the tomahawk. And he plays on and he does it well to Ablett. No, it's chopped off at the last minute. It was Goddard. In fact, he was looking for Chapman and Goddard chopped it off. He put it inside 50. Revolt's turn to take the fly. Kelly to Scarlett. Game tackled by a couple of Saints. The umpire will bounce. No, it's a high tackle.
Free kick going Geelong's way, Rob. But once again, we're seeing...
The free kick looks like it could be going St Kilda's way.
So the other way, there's the grab from Hawkins. So this is a big play to Hawkins. Geelong will play on through the corridor. They're kicking short with a wet footy. It's getting turned over consistently at the moment. And I'm not sure if they can adjust their game, Geelong. It's what they've played for 3 years, and it's been so good for them.
Free kick against Scarlett for elbowing Dempster in the head after that contest.
Sean Dempster, Premiership player with Sydney a few years back.
Dempster. Very kickable goal, and kick it he does. 4th goal for St Kilda. Well, interesting free kick. A St Kilda player immediately remonstrated with Scarlett. The umpire obviously was in the perfect position.
Joel Corey, 10 touches this quarter, Luke. He's really lifted.
Revolt. Kick smothered. As St Kilda work it towards their goal square. Jones has a ping, and Jones kicks the goal. Made something out of nothing there, and just a typical wet weather day goal. And Clinton Jones kicks a big 6-pointer as we near half-time.
Get a good look at it here. He's playing on Ablett. Now, this is a massive bonus. If you can score on Ablett, make him think about you, not only just try and tag. So Ablett contesting the footy. Jones fell in his lap, really, but hit it really well. And he's done fairly well so far. Ablett's had 14 disposals. Clint Jones just a 6, but that will give him a confidence boost.
What a struggle this is. A minute from half-time in the grand final.
What about that poster to Tom Hawkins? Hard to blame the umpire because it just touched it in these wet, slippery conditions.
Luke Ball been very good. So's Kelly in defence for the Cats. In the Steve Johnson direction. Can he make something out of a terrible first half? He won't hear.
After disposal downfield.
St Kilda free kick.
After disposal.
Gee, they've got one out wide.
So in the last 30 seconds, time enough. Jason Graham. Fisher now up from defence, scoring opportunity. 2-on-2. Taylor went to ground. Koschitzki missed, did he? No, he's kicked it. He's kicked the goal and scores a level again. St Kilda hitting back in the last 2 minutes of the half from 2 goals down to tie it up on the edge of half-time.
What a massive play.
Hang on. What's happened down here?
It's a free kick. It's another free kick to the Saints.
It's another free kick.
Signal to the goal umpire right here.
Let's see.
Demonstrative abuse.
No, this is massive. It's for demonstrative talk to the goal umpire. He's paid another free kick.
As Schneider finishes it off, and all of a sudden St Kilda is in front.
Now, Darren Milburn had an argument with the goal umpire.
Well, what I'd like to see is the goal of Koschitzki's.
Certainly wasn't touched.
It wasn't touched.
So Milburn thought it was. He goes and has a crack at the goal umpire. And umpire McBurney has paid a second free kick directly in front for arguing with the goal umpire. That is a huge play.
Crashed in.
In fact, earlier in the season, in the case of Hudson. So a ball up, the lead having changed again. Fourth time it's changed in the match so far. Geelong by 2 points.
Lenny Hayes, third man up again. They'll do a lot of that in this quarter, the Saints.
Montagna getting a boot onto it. Milburn holding Dempster at bay. So often finds a way. He's got some atoning to do after the events of late in the second quarter. Here's Graham for the Saints. Taylor and Revolt. Revolt!
Good kick, Graham. He could have blazed away. He seriously squared that ball up, saw Revolt and said, one-on-one, I'll back you, as Eric Banner looks on and cheers.
Taylor looked to have his number there. He seemed to have position, but at the death, it was the champion Saint bringing Eric Banner out of his seat.
And just his third mark for the game.
Goalless until now. Surely that will change. It wasn't a great kick, but the lead has changed again. It's the Saints back in front.
I reckon Harry Taylor's played Nick Revolt as well as you can. I'm sure he'd appreciate the fact that the rain's come down and it's not ideal marking conditions, but he's played him from in front. The thing he hasn't had to deal with a lot is this one-on-one contest. That's all Revolt wants. Give him a chance to use his strength and his ability to read the flight of the footy. Played it beautifully.
So it's the Saints' turn to press. Lake and King and Montagna at the front will put St Kilda in front and puts them a goal in front with a beauty from the pocket.
Well, he's not the most accurate of kicks, Lee Montagna, but he's done it there.